Alright guys, welcome back to 10TV. Jason Greystone here. This week, after we did a Facebook Live a little while ago, I threw up a book recommendation. Those of you who are subscribed to the email list over at 10, the guys over there, they send out book recommendations on the email list. So if you're on that email list, each time a video gets published or a blog gets published, you'll get an email and it will give you a recommendation of a book. And that's been very popular. And with it coming up to Christmas, a couple of days to Christmas, right? So we've got a week or so left of 2016. So not long left now. And one of the things I know that annoys people is every year they come and say, Jay, what can we buy you? You know, tell us something. You must want something. And I always say, no, you know, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. And then after I think, oh, look, they could have got me that. They could have got me a book. They could have got me this book, that book. And I think a book's a real good thing for you guys who are just stuck for ideas and someone's asking you what they can get you for Christmas. Just tell them one of these books and feel free to, you know, add all of them or one of them to your Christmas list and get that for you. So in this week's episode, I'm going to be running over, I've read tons and tons of books, but I thought I'd share with you some of the most influential in my life towards the mind shifts that took place earlier on in my business, building my business, and some of the most influential books that enabled me to change path and sort of change my behavioural patterns in order to achieve the things that I've achieved so far. So the first one I'm going to recommend is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you missed the book recommendation I did on this, this is certainly a must read for everyone. Everyone. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a startup, whether you're just, you know, you're stumbling through life and you keep saying to yourself every year, I'm going to do this, and you know, we've got a week left of 2016. What did you want to do in 2016 that you haven't done? You know, what are you, and you're probably saying to yourself, yeah, next year, I'm going to start next year. There's a reason why we don't ever start, and it's all to do with mind patterns, mind shifts, and mindset, right? So what I love about this book is, I'm not going to say that this book is, you're going to read this book and you're going to become rich beyond your wildest dreams, but it will certainly change your perspective on life and how you go about business, how you go about relationships, how you just, if you're an entrepreneur or startup business, it's going to change your mindset on going after certain goals, how you deal with that. And Napoleon Hill, he done a great job. I mean, he dedicated his life's work to interviewing and researching some of the most wildly successful people of his time. Carnegie is one, you know, massive, one of the richest men in the world during the Industrial Revolution, the steel industry. But, you know, the principles in this book, whether it's you're relating to Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Larry Page, whoever it is, it's still relevant, and it's all down to certain mindsets, certain disciplines, and what the differences are, what the similarities are in those people. And really it's just a 13-step formula that he's collated from that information and put into this book. Fantastic book, completely changed my mindset and my, you know, the way I looked at relationships and business and partners and all the rest of it. And like I say, I'm not saying it's gonna make you rich beyond your wildest dreams, but for me it certainly changed my mindset, which then guided my path slightly different, made my behavior slightly different, and I truly believe it's resulted in me becoming you know, where I am today. So must read book. Go and ask for that one. That would be the first one on my list if you haven't read it already. It's about well, it's £8.99 on Amazon. Great book. And if you're buying it for yourself, buy one for a friend as well. So that's the first book. And all of the books are going to be on the link below in the video as well. Now, the second book is by Tony Robbins. Now, if you don't know who Tony Robbins is, you probably do if you're watching this video. If you don't know who he is, go and check all of his stuff out. Tony's one of the planet's biggest assets, in my opinion. He's an individual who, since his 20s, you know, he's from a very humble background, but from his early 20s, he's dedicated his life's work to inspiring and coaching people throughout their lives, you know, enhancing people's lives. And whether that's through habit, through mental, physical, whatever state, that's what he does. He's a life coach and one of the world's best. This guy's worked with you know, all the top celebs, Bill Clinton. He's worked with presidents, kings, and his work is really great. If you don't know who he is, go and check him out. And the book that I'm going to recommend is Awaken the Giant Within. I've actually got 2 copies over the years, but this book, when I read this book, similarly to the Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, complete step-by-step process on how you identify with yourself, you know, what your goals actually are and why you're not achieving them. And then as you work through the book, there's like little workbooks and things that you can fill out lists and write down your goals and what you're going to do to achieve them. Really, really great book. When I read this, I was glued to it. And by the end of this book, you know, I was really focused. I knew what I had to go after. You know, I had a good idea on how I was going to go after it as well, which is, you know, a big pitfall for most entrepreneurs or startups who've got these ideas. They don't quite know how to structure it or go after the goal. So, brilliant book, Awaken the Giant Within. Highly recommend this book. Make sure you read this, you know, all the way through, and I guarantee you won't be disappointed in that one. So, the next book is slightly different. It's called Barbarians to Bureaucrats. Now, this book is really designed for anyone who's in a position in the company who has the power to shift the business direction or influence that business in any way. This is a must-read for you. So, unlike the first 2, who are more for everyone and anyone, or startups, entrepreneurs, this one's more for those entrepreneurial people that are already part of a business. Maybe you're in a position to influence the direction of your company, or even if you own a company and you're looking to take your business in the right direction. This book talks about people like, you know, if you think about Blockbuster, for instance, they didn't believe that Netflix was real. They thought Netflix was a dream. They didn't think it would take off. It was quite arrogant and naive, and they shut off to what was happening around them, and they went flat. Similar to HMV, people like that, you know, seriously affected businesses just by not sticking with the times and the corporate life cycle strategies of business. So, highly recommend this book. It's a quick read. It's only 220 pages. Quite a thin book. This one costs around $16. You can get it on Amazon. Highly recommend that book as well. It's definitely one for people who believe in hard work, though. Unlike books like The 4-Hour Workweek. This is a book I don't recommend. This is a book that was written to sell dreams. Every entrepreneur, every successful entrepreneur I know, knows that there's no such thing as a 4-hour work week. So strongly recommend you don't buy this unless you want some toilet paper or something. But next book on the list. This is one for entrepreneurs, salespeople. Maybe you're a parent. Maybe you're you're working on your parenting skills. Maybe you're working on building relationships somewhere. This is a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Great book. It goes through how to win people over to your way of thinking. So it's a lot of influence related stuff in this book. If you're a salesperson, you know what influence is. You know, sales is influence, and whether you like it or not, we're always selling something. Whether you think sales, I don't really like sales, it's a bit sleazy. If you're an entrepreneur, or you're a startup business, or you're an established business, or you're a parent, or you're a partner, or a husband, or a wife, you are selling. You are influencing, and that's all sales is. It's influencing. I'm selling my kids that they should go to bed at a certain time because it's good for them. Because I'm selling my wife, we should do this today because this, and this. And if you do this, then this is why we should, this is why I need to work. This is why I need to do this. Selling, selling, selling. Influence, influence, influence. And really, really great book. Really helps you improve your influence skills and, how to make it more entertaining so you don't seem so salesy, so like corny or cheesy or whatever. So great book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Again, this book is £8.99 on Amazon. Bargain. Next book, great book by David Back. It's called The Automatic Millionaire. Now, this book is one of my favourite books of all time. I've got tons and tons of great books, but this book really hit home because how many people on social media do you see complaining that they can't afford, or they haven't got what they want to get, or they never know where to start, or they think I'm never going to get on the property ladder, or we've got no chance of getting that or achieving that. And then you see them in Costa or Starbucks, right? Starbucks is worldwide. I think Costa's only in the UK if you're watching this in the UK. Coffee company, right? And they're in Starbucks and they're spending £2.50 or $3 or $4, or they're spending $5 on a couple of coffees plus a muffin, and you're taking up to £10 in a coffee shop. These people are spending up to £300 a month on coffee. And he talks about something called the latte factor in here, and really what the book's based around is how to really be crude with money that you don't have to spend, cut down on your disposable income, save, put stuff away, put money away, and then he talks about how to automate that into wealth. And it's really, really good book, really useful book, definitely worth reading for anyone who's struggling financially or thinks they're struggling financially, or anyone who's working on a business and you're conscious of cash flow. And so I really recommend the book. It really helps you understand how you can create more riches just with what you've got. That disposable income that you think that you can just blow on a latte. He really goes in depth on how you can invest that money in yourself to then compound your savings and end up with a much wealthier wallet or purse. So definitely recommend this book. That's the book number 5. And the last book I'm going to recommend, this is a bit more of a up-to-date and current book. It's written by Gary Vaynerchuk and it's called Jab, 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 Right Hook. Now, if you don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, this guy is a social media guru, in my opinion. He started, he used to work at his dad's wine business, his dad's wine retailer or merchant. And what he did, he just started a YouTube channel, and every day he would just run a channel on wine. And every day he'd have an interview, he'd just do some wine tasting, and I think he'd done 1,000 episodes. But through the power of social media, which is what this book's about, he took that business from $1 million to $50 million. And from that, he created, he became an investor. He now runs his own media company with over 700 staff, offices all over the world. And it really hits home on the power of social media. People are neglecting this stuff. If you're in business, people say, I don't really know Twitter. I don't really get on Facebook. I don't know Instagram. I don't know how to use Snapchat. If you don't, you're missing out massively. It's the best way. You can sit in your living room now, start a business and reach out to the same global audience as Apple, Coca-Cola, Virgin, any of those companies. It really is the best time to be alive in business, and Gary Vaynerchuk will reinforce that into your mind as well. And this guy's worked with tons and tons of the best celebrities who are trying to get their profile out, build a brand through social media. Great book. Very, very highly recommend this book. And for anyone who's thinking about setting up social media and they don't really know how, there's some great guides in here as well. So go and check that book out. That's all the books on my list. And what I would say is, last year, or the year 2016, that has gone now, and you've probably said to yourself, oh, I didn't really do the things that I said I was going to do last Christmas this year. Now, what are you going to do next year to make sure that you do the things that you set out to do, these goals, and hit these goals? Well, even if that's just read a book over Christmas, make sure you go out and grab one of those books, or just get, do something that's going to make you gain some progress over the Christmas period, and then that will propel you into 2017 hyped up, raring to go. And all you've got to do is keep that momentum going. Maybe buy one of those books a week, maybe one a month. Whatever it is you're going to do, just make sure you have a clear list of what you've set out to do, and then just make sure you get a clearer list next to that on how you're going to do it. First you have to set the goals, then you set the habits to get there. So if that's, I want to lose 50 pounds, that's the goal. What are the habits? I'm going to walk to the shop. I'm going to cut down on sugar. I'm going to eat less pasta, bread, whatever it is, right? I want to earn £100,000 this year. What are the habits you're going to do? I'm going to do continuous education, self-educate. I'm going to spend every Wednesday evening learning about marketing funnels, whatever it is, right? So just differentiate between your goals and the habits you need to put in place to get to your goals. So with that said, guys, I want to wish you all a very happy Christmas and a very, very happy and prosperous new year. And we'll see you in 2017. Take care.